You know, when somebody comes to me and is like, hey, we've got a neat idea and some neat people that, you know, they want to do something a little outside the box. I'm told maybe you're the person to talk to about this aspect of it getting done. And, you know, I love that when people reach out and say that, because that perks me right up. I don't do well with a regular 9 to 5, doing the same thing every day. When my friend came to me and kind of explained very little about what this project was really about, other than it was going to be at night and lights and jellyfish. And I was like, sold, I'm done. That sounds right up my alley.
Skeleton suits, they're like not super heavy.
I don't have anything but good things to say about that family. They were raised with a very loving set of parents with very open minds and very progressive in the way that they cared far more about protecting this land and protecting what has shaped them. And they are just very good people that care a lot about the right things.
We always say if you're out in the wilderness, you listen to the birds. The birds will tell you if there's any dangers or anything like that around.
The way that they operate on the water, the way that they look out at the sea, that's not stuff you can learn in a book. That's a true blue connection. I love recognizing that in them, and I love working with them.
You know, Oren, you can tell that he's spent his whole life out here on the water. So smooth how he operates. Watching him go from tour guide to steward of the land.
You don't see them on their own like this.
You could just see it instantly with Oren. He just was like, this otter's not supposed to be here. It's crying, like, where's the mother?
With the way I was brought up is, you know, you can understand when something needs help. Just because they're not able to speak our language, it doesn't mean that we can't decipher when something is actually in need of help or not.
Really the whole family that just like jumped into action and
Trying to fashion an urchin grabbing stick to get some uni for this little guy. That'll work.
Everybody's quite fractured, not just from COVID, you know, splitting people apart, but from, you know, divide and conquer tactics by industry and corporations and governments. If we learn to take care of the beings around us, then we might start to repair the sacred hoop of who we are on the planet, and remembering
There you go.
that what we do to other creatures is what we do to ourselves. I mean, we don't want to be in a cage.
Oh, you're just garbling that. Good job.
A lot of people would think to maybe just leave it, or, you know, which in some cases would be the right case if you don't know what you're doing. But because, you know, the way that we grew up, you know, the knowledge that we had, you can actually tell when something is truly in need of help.
You really are Mama Oren now.
There's no books to those kind of things. There's no proper procedures to how you're going to deal with situations or what you should do.
Yeah, he likes Oris to see one last opportunity to try to get this thing back to its mom.
they made the call to get the sea otter to the Vancouver Aquarium, hopefully rehabilitated into the wild.
It's amazing that there is places that can help, because not everyone can take on the responsibility of raising a baby wild animal.
Does she have anything to keep it cool?
But I do really worry in these instances that people are capable of doing really amazing things and starting out with the best of intentions.
I'm hoping that they will take care of him and let him go back into the wild.
There's a certain level of greed that I worry about, even in people that are trying to do a good thing.
He'll be a little wild otter one day. He just needs a little help.
So I've talked to the Vancouver Island Aquarium. They advised to feed him some fresh crab. They're sending a team across on the ferry right now, and DFO is just on its way to pick it up for transport, so we're just giving it a meal before it leaves.
I know we made the right decision. We weren't necessarily in the right place to take on the responsibility of raising a baby sea otter. You know, I think that would have been irresponsible of us. What I really hope that we didn't make the wrong decision on sending her there so that she could become a spectacle or to be sold or to not come home. It might be easier for them and more beneficial for them to keep Uni and use her to make more funding for something else. Just the same as, you know, it might be easier for a conservation officer to just shoot a bear versus try to actually move it somewhere.
Now it's kind of out of our hands and onto them.
Fingers crossed.
These animals, they don't belong to us. We are not the ones to make that decision to keep some animal that's perfectly capable of going home from going home.
She's not being held the way the mother would hold her, and because people are afraid that you're going to imprint something, but all you're doing is giving them love, and they never forget that. And they're ready to go back to the wild.